I shouldn't do it, man. I shouldn't allow myself to get my hopes up, but I am. I am getting my hopes up that Xbox is back because honestly, I love Xbox. I've always loved Xbox. So many of my videos on my channel about Xbox have been negative because they were on a bad path and they've been on a bad path for a decade. But I mean, it's all out of love. My name, Murky Trout, for those that don't know, that was my first ever Xbox gamer tag. It was auto generated the day I got my Xbox 360 before I had online because I just wanted to play a game. I just auto generated it and I just started playing. I later changed it not too many months later, but that's where Murky Trout comes from. This is Xbox gamer tag. I love Xbox. And I think it's healthy for the game industry, especially seeing the way that Sony's going, for Xbox to be competitive and apply a little pressure. And yeah, I'm starting to get my hopes up. A lot of people have already got their hopes up with once Asha Sharma took over. She did some moves like updated the Xbox logo, which was like, I don't know. I think the company makes the logo. The logo doesn't make the company. I'm so tired of companies spending millions of dollars on like a logo or whatever. I have that philosophy on my channel. My profile icons is a stupid fish because of Murky Trout, right? I just Googled trout, found a fish, put that as my profile picture, put it as my banner. If you go to my channel page, it's zero effort, but it's like I don't care. I think that if I spent money to get a professional logo, that's not going to get me more subscribers or more viewers. But if I did get a million subscribers and million views, there'd be people making video essays on how much of a genius I am. It's like he just had this fish logo and it's so recognizable and all that. It's like, no, if Xbox is an awesome company, then the logo will be awesome, right? So I was like, that logo thing, it's like, that's not that big of a deal. Like, it seems like a stunt. They lowered the price of Game Pass from $30 down to $23, but took out Call of Duty. But it's like people forgot that 6 months ago is when they increased the price of Game Pass. So it's like even if you like take that out of the equation, they still increased the price of Game Pass and removed Call of Duty. So I was just like, it looks nice. It's a good move, but like I wasn't like Xbox is back to me. Like I stayed on the sidelines. I didn't even make a negative video about this. I've been quiet, just kind of waiting, seeing what it was. But it's like now I see that Xbox has made Gears of War E-Day a console exclusive. And if you've seen one of my other videos about what Xbox needs to do to make me get the next Xbox console, not just give up on them completely, console exclusives is the most important criteria I have for them to just like keep Xbox alive. And I think it's absolutely what they need to do. And I couldn't believe it. When I saw that Gears of War E-Day was an Xbox exclusive, I could not believe it. I'm so happy to hear this news. And not just Gears of War E-Day, but there's some other like Clockwork game that like wasn't even really on my radar, but now it's totally like shot up on my radar because that is also now an Xbox console exclusive. So it looks like exclusives are coming back, and I support this so much, right? If this game came out, Gears of War E-Day, came out on Xbox and PlayStation 5, I was planning on getting on PlayStation 5 because without any exclusives on Xbox, what's the point of me investing in my Xbox library? But I bought an Xbox Series X for Gears of War and Halo, thinking those were going to be console exclusives. And I want Halo and Gears of War in my life. And so I appreciate this exclusivity thing that they're doing with Gears of War so much that I've been on the fence with Halo Campaign Evolved. I made lots of videos making fun of it, that it's just like an unnecessary crash grab. Like I still believe that too, but they priced it right. $50. That is the best case scenario pricing for that game. I'm pretty sure that Halo Anniversary and Xbox 360 came out at $60. So the fact that this full on remake it with extra content and all that prettier graphics is only gonna be $50. That's pretty cool. That's the best move they could have done. I always thought that if I got Halo Campaign involved because of like I've been making a lot of videos, definitely negative. It's kind of been like one of those like just narratives on this channel, like a topic I covered that's just like, well, I've talked about Halo Campaign Evolved so much, maybe I will get it. It's Halo 1 after all. It's going to be a great game. I just would rather have Halo 7, right? When it comes down to it, I'd rather like the time be spent on making Halo 7. But at the same time I've been covering, so I kind of want to like get my hands on it, not just totally make an assumption that it's just an awful game. I always thought if I picked it up, I would have picked it up on PS5 for the novelty, right? Like, let me get something a little more out of it. And it's like, if I'm going to pay to play this game again, I may as well be like, all right, well, I'm playing Halo 1 on PlayStation. Like, how cool is that? Like, that, or how neato is that, right? And I appreciate that Gears of War is an exclusive game so much. And I want Xbox to make exclusive games so bad. I'm going to vote with my wallet. And I pre-ordered Halo Campaign Evolved for Xbox, not the PlayStation version. I'm gonna get on Xbox. I'm gonna get some use on my Xbox Series X. That's why I bought my Xbox Series X, was for Halo and Gears of War. And the only reason why I don't think they pulled the PlayStation 5 copy of Halo. I think they really wanted to, but I think that decision was made from like the old leadership, the old teams. The contracts were signed and all that. They already announced it like in a showcase event with the PlayStation logo. It'd be really hard to walk that back. Gears of War hasn't had that official PlayStation logo announcement at a showcase, so I think it was much easier for them to pull that one. Halo, Fable, those have already been announced, so we're still getting the Xbox and the PlayStation version. Fable, if I end up getting that game, depending on just like what comes out in, in February 2027, I'll get the Xbox version. Forza Horizon 6, if I end up picking that up eventually, because like Forza, Fable, Halo, Gears, these are Xbox games. I'll get that on Xbox. These are games I think the next iteration, the next installments of those franchises will be on Xbox exclusives, based on what they just did with Gears of War. And then this Clockwork thing, new IP. I can see this coming to Xbox. That's what I want. I want them to be competitive. PlayStation, over the past 10 years, they've gotten real comfortable. I don't like a comfortable PlayStation. I want a PlayStation who's fighting, a PlayStation who's undercutting Xbox $100, the $400 PlayStation 4. That's the PlayStation I want. And I can't have that PlayStation unless Xbox, a platform and company that I love, is also fighting. And it seemed like they've given up for so long. And they're in a weird situation right now with the acquisitions. So I kind of think, yeah, again, with the Halo and the Fable, those aren't going to be Xbox exclusives just because of like this transitional period, kind of like a cross-generational period. I think they kind of dug themselves into a little bit of a hole. We're going to have this like, based on, we have to get through the previous announcements that have been announced as cross-platform, or like, behind the scenes, like deals that have been signed and all that, to get back to exclusive Xbox games. And at the same time, Gears of War and this Clockwork game or whatever, those might just be like test cases. It's just 4 games, right? Like maybe it's a test case. So again, I'm gonna vote with my wallet. I want these console wars going on, not like fanboys in the comments console wars, but the companies, the businesses battling out for our dollars. I want them to be at war. And so this is a really big move. I think that what's the most confusing about Xbox is that they're in this really weird and awkward like acquisition situation because of their big acquisitions, mainly Activision Blizzard, right? Call of Duty, right? I always think that's going to be on multiple platforms. Like that's going to Nintendo Switch too, right? They're not pulling that to be Xbox exclusive. But at the same time, Call of Duty, I really don't feel it's an Xbox game. I feel like it's an Activision game that changed its pronouns to be an Xbox game, right? And there's a lot of people like the Xbox fanboys and all that. They're allowing themselves to be brainwashed. They're allowing themselves to have history being rewritten. Spyro's a great example. They announced a new Spyro game, dude. How awesome is that? So glad they're finally bringing Spyro back. That like those old IP again. Like that's my biggest issue with PlayStation. Like they're ditching Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper. It's like, hell yeah, dude, Spyro's back. And I saw that's coming out on PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch too. But I kind of think that's okay, because Spyro I associate mostly with GameCube, to be honest. Enter the Dragonfly was my first Spyro game, and then later I picked up the original PlayStation games on PlayStation and played them backwards compatible on PlayStation 2. So a lot of people, like, and rightfully so, Spyro they associate mostly with PlayStation, which I think is actually the correct answer. Me personally, I associate more with GameCube just because that's what I was on. And I think like that game was even on like Xbox too, Enter the Dragonfly. But because Spyro was not always an Xbox property and they only have them because of an acquisition, like I feel like those kind of games are actually okay to go on other platforms. And it's almost like they need to have like 2 separate like labels for Xbox, like your Xbox games and then like Xbox publishing games. You have like Capcom, who has like multiple studios making all these banger games. It's not like just Capcom and one studio doing it. They're like a publishing company. And like Nintendo the same way. I don't know. I think Xbox they need to just do something with that, like just a name, like again, like something to differentiate first party Xbox, your Halo, your Gears, your Forza, your Fable, as first party Xbox games. These are exclusives. And then like Xbox publishing, which is like, yeah, like we're funding and publishing Call of Duty and Spyro and these and Tony Hawk, but those are historically been on all platforms or just on other platforms that weren't Xbox, and now Xbox took it. I think those are largely inoffensive for them to put out on other platforms and just reap the benefits of like, of the revenue from those games that can, like, again, help fund new hardware and new first party exclusive games, but they need to have exclusive games, right? And I picked up Gears of War Reloaded on PlayStation 5. There wasn't even a physical Xbox version. How backwards is that? So, like, the PlayStation 5, which I would have got anyway because of the novelty, it's my third time playing or buying and playing Gears of War, and it just felt wrong, man. Playing it on the PlayStation with the PlayStation controller, I love the PlayStation controller. I think I like it more than the Xbox controller, the DualSense 5. But it felt wrong because Gears is an Xbox game, and I have just 20 years of my life playing it with the Xbox controller. And when I did my big replay of the entire Gears of War series, I played out the Xbox controller, and it was perfectly fine, and it felt at home. And I kind of feel the same way with Halo. Like, when I've played Halo Master Chief Collection, just messed around, demoed it on my PC a little bit. I haven't actually played through a full game on my PC, but I've hooked up my DualSense controller just because, like, oh, I'm playing Halo with the DualSense, but it always feels wrong. And so before, like, without exclusives or any just glimmer of hope of exclusives on Xbox, yeah, I would have picked up Halo on PlayStation 5 because in the end, I'm going to be adding it to my library of games, and I trusted PlayStation more than Xbox. But, you know, I have not been too satisfied with PlayStation lately, and I want Xbox to be competitive. And them making Gears of War E Day a console exclusive is one of the best things I think they could be doing for the gaming industry in general, for the competition. That, yeah, I'm gonna support that, and I'm now I have a reason to get Halo and get that on Xbox instead of PlayStation. Again, maybe that sounds hypocritical because I've been knocking that Halo game. They priced it right at $50. I know it's gonna be a good game because it's Halo 1, right? Like, it's Halo 1. And this is really more of a way of me voting my wallet and tipping Xbox, tipping Microsoft. Like, thank you for doing this with Gears of War. Like, this is what we need from you. I miss you, Xbox. I want you back, and, like, I want you to be great. And it's gonna take years, right? It's gonna take years for them to get into a good position, but it's a good start. And they have that new, like, translucent green Xbox. It's kind of like a logo change, but man, that controller looks awesome. I need to get more backup controllers, so I kind of want to get that controller. I'm getting kind of excited for Xbox, man. My third-party games are still going to be on PlayStation for the time being, but in terms of first-party Xbox games, or games that are both on Xbox and PlayStation, but they feel like they should be on Xbox, I have more confidence in now buying those games on Xbox. Forza Horizon 6, Fable, these are games I would have picked up on PS5. I feel more comfortable getting those on Xbox. And something like on Nintendo Switch 2, and we're getting into, like, we're so deep into gaming with generations, and especially modern gaming with these digital platforms. I do also think that when a game gets so old, like over 10 years old, like, if they want to put Master Chief Collection on Nintendo Switch 2, I wouldn't be offended by that either. That game is so old. It's been around so long. You can get it on Steam for like $10 or less. I feel when they do a time console exclusive for 1 or 2 years, it's very easy to wait for the PC port or the PlayStation 5 version, right? Indiana Jones, 6 months early on Xbox, and then 6 months later on PlayStation 5. It may as well not be an exclusive at all. That's no benefit to buy the console. When we talk about 10-year gap, if they want to release a game on Switch 2, like what they did with Fallout and Skyrim, even though those are like multi-platform games, that falls under the umbrella of, you know, Xbox games that have changed their pronouns to be Xbox games, right? But if they want to put Gears of War 1 and 2 on Nintendo Switch 2, I'd be hyped about that. Of course, if they're priced right. And I wouldn't be offended by that. It's like, I don't think you need to, like, buy an Xbox for their old backwards compatible catalog of exclusives, which of course that would be Game Pass's benefit of being able to just play those there and not have to rebuy them like you would on Switch 2 or PlayStation. But I don't know, I wouldn't be too offended by that. But they need good exclusives to sell the platform, to sell me on the next console. They need to be exclusives for like at least 10 years, right? But I don't know, Xbox is in a weird situation, but I'm finally getting some hope, and I'm rooting for them. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.